So this girl, Hawk Tuah, she got a podcast now with some of her girlfriends, I think,
Hawk Tuah.
and they are debating the best way to say it now.
You gotta put like an emphasis on it, like
Okay, she'll demonstrate. Here we go.
tuh. You know?
Tuah!
Like really, yeah. Say it. All right, all together.
She's saying it like it's some kind of a science. Like you can take classes in pronunciation of Tuah.
Hawk Tuah. Hawk Tuah.
Wow.
And you can just clearly see how her best friend or whoever this is, she has no lighting on her face. She's not the important person. And look at the lighting now. Just perfect, splendid lighting. She's the focus of the podcast. I love it.
Wow.
Tuah.
Listening to this is a wonderful use of my day. Now, I've seen a lot of pointless podcasts that...
Yeah, everyone has a podcast. Your mom has a podcast. Your mom's pet dog has a podcast. Your uncle has a podcast. I mean, everyone has a podcast. I'm pretty sure my PlayStation 5 has a podcast.
did not need to exist in my time. Like, just a few weeks ago, we looked at that podcast that I can't even remember the name of off the top of my head. I think it was called, like, the Empowered Podcast or something.
Who cares?
When you come back, when you come back from work, you're tired, bro. You just want to go to bed.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I can't wait for holiday.
Sometimes I'm in bed and I'm like, bro, I need to brush my teeth.
And that was
That's some deep conversation topics.
pointless.
Sometimes when I'm in bed, I'm like, I forgot to brush my teeth. Man, life hits you so hard sometimes.
But this just...
I would rather hear the podcast about my PS5 or my PS5's podcast. Johnny doesn't play me anymore. He used to play me daily. He used to turn me on every single day. He used to stroke me. No, sorry.
takes it to a whole new level. For those somehow unfamiliar with the hilarious viral
What's up with the bandana thing? Is he gang?
sensation of Hawk Tuah, this is Hailey Welch. And she
Yeah, shout out.
went viral
This one. I got it as a soundbite. Yeah, boy.
a few months back for her response to an on-the-street interview by
Yep.
a channel called Tim and DTV.
Yep.
What's one move in bed that makes a man go crazy every time?
You gotta give him that.
You gotta give him that Hawk Tuah
Oh, this is the girl from the video. She's also in the podcast.
and spit on that thing. Yeah.
Spit on that thing.
Funniest shit I ever seen in my life. Incredible. This still makes me heartily belly laugh. And apparently
Okay, that's not fair. It was funny. It was a viral sensation. It was memeable. This guy, yeah, I know his whole agenda is he's obviously hating on the podcast, and I'm sure he's right in a lot of his points. But the Hawk Tuah, it was funny. Okay, it's been played now. It's old, I know, but it was funny.
the world did too, because she became very famous overnight for this. There was merch and everything. Let's have a look at some of it, because some of it is incredible. Alright, so we got the Hawk Tuah 24, spit on that fang.
I saw I think it was an NFL player who made a shirt that said, if she doesn't give you that Hawk Tuah, then I don't want to talk to her. But did she call her podcast Talk? Yeah, she did call her podcast Talk to her. But I'm pretty certain she wasn't the one to come up with the name.
Brilliant. I'd wear that to my wedding. American flag Hawk Tuah. Eat, sleep, Hawk Tuah, repeat. Again,
All right.
I would wear this
Girlfriend material.
to the birth of my first child. If
The birth of my first child. That's diabolical.
she don't Hawk Tuah, I don't want to talk.
This is the one I'm talking about.
I don't want to talk to her. This one's
Yep.
just grim. It's just grim for some.
Are those supposed to... Are you seeing the same thing as me? So the droplets, are those supposed to be, the thing that flies out of men?
Reason. She's also been making bank from public appearances, apparently charging up to $30,000 per one. Well, that's
Yeah, I remember in the early beginnings of this, she was like a saint. She popped up on occasion on someone else's social media and said, no, I don't have any social media. I don't use that stuff. And no, it's not me selling merch. It's just other people trying to monetize my joke and what. She was so pure and clean. And then a couple of days, maybe weeks went by. And then it's just podcast, merch, appearances, festivals. Then she just monetized the living hell out of it. And I respect that. Go get that money, girl.
my future child's first birthday party sorted. And I'll be stood there in the corner in my unofficial Hawk Tuah merch. But something I've not seen anyone talk about is how weird the actual interview was.
Okay, I got another one for y'all.
Okay.
I gotta be honest, I have never seen the entire interview at all. I never saw it. I bet there's, more golden nuggets in there, but I think I've seen her answer 2 questions, but I guess the interview is kind of long.
Would you rather? Hold on, is she listening?
Would you rather?
Would you rather?
Oh, she wasn't even listening. She's trying to make eye contact with someone she want to hug.
Hold on, is she listening?
Would you rather?
Would you rather have back shots for the rest of your life or missionary for the rest of your life?
Mate, what are we doing here?
Okay, that's crazy.
Going up to girls outside a bar, going,
Wow.
what's better, missionary or back
Okay, that's crazy.
shots? I'm not sure if
That's the most ridiculous interview.
this is like a normal thing to do in America, and I very much doubt it is. But if you did
I think it is.
that in the UK, you get called a weird nonce and laughed at until you went away. And that
A nonce. Okay, we gotta research here. UK slang. I'm guessing that guy is UK. Nonce, a slang term chiefly used in Britain for alleged. Okay, I think we. Okay.
isn't the only strange interview she's done. She did this one with KIIS or KISS, I don't know how you pronounce that, an Australian radio station after she blew up, and it's fucking weird. I was trying to think of a more descriptive word for it, but the best way I could describe it is just fucking weird.
They all know who you are for such a funny little thing. Do you really Hawk Tuah, or were you just...
Oh my god. So, okay. So this... So this is an old man, okay? I might be a little past my prime, okay? But this is an old man. A very old... Okay, he's old. I don't care how you spin it. He's not young, at least, okay? He's asking a young girl if she really Hawk Tuah that thing. Ugh, that's just... Wow. Imagine doing this interview. Like, don't you have a wife? What?
Having a laugh there.
Bloody hell. Is that really the first question you have to ask this
It's so wrong.
21-year-old
She's 21.
girl? Do you actually Hawk Tuah? Man, come
Such a bad look.
on. Why are we doing this?
Agreed. Why?
Come on.
It's disgusting.
Having a laugh there.
So you're not a spitter.
Bravo.
Oh my god.
Come on.
Can you please leave the studio? You got a Yankee cap on. Name 3 players from the Yankee team, please.
Ow, come on. Surely you're better than this. It doesn't stop there. I think
Okay, he right. That's the correct phrasing. You're better than this. Apparently he's not.
he catches himself being weird and like just stumbles over his words.
Imagine him having a wife and children, and he comes home from a long day's work, and they're like, "Oh, so Dad, what did you do today?" "Oh, I just interviewed, not a minor, but close to, about how much she Hawk Tuah that thing." What? God damn.
Yes or no? It's fit. No, it's fit.
Wow. What the fuck? I agree. This is so weird.
But anyway, there was clearly a
What's happening?
large demand for regular hour-long content with her. So she answered the prayers of the many and announced her podcast called Talk to Us.
I completely forgot that was why I clicked on this video. I think we should see more footage from the Australian radio program. That was nutty.
Hawk Tuah, but
Talk Tuah,
you're talking to us. Very clever wordplay.
I'm Hailey Welch. A
but not her idea.
little while ago, my life
I'm pretty sure.
took a complete left turn and it changed for
My life took a complete left turn. I'm from Texas, or somewhere around these parts.
forever. And along the way, I've realized that everybody's entitled to their own opinion.
Everyone is entitled to their own opinion, but you don't need to blast it for the entire world on a podcast.
What does that even mean? Saying Hawk Tuah gave you a new insight and perspective on life that made you realise that everyone is entitled to their own opinion. Did you not realise
Me spitting on that thing made me realize I need a podcast.
that before?
Wow.
What?
I like this guy.
I think she's just saying stuff for the intro. Fair enough. But what are you trying to say? This?
I think she's just saying stuff.
I realised that everybody's entitled to their own.
Did you get Jake Paul on the pod? Is this the podcast, or is this Jake Paul's podcast?
He's entitled to their own opinion. How did this make you realise? Is that?
Well, now it's my time to talk.
It's my damn. Okay, and that's her. Okay, that's her. Okay. I see where she gets her influence. Okay.
Check out my podcast every week, Talk Tuah. where
Hawk Tuah.
I'm sitting down with the coolest guests and having actual
Coolest.
conversations with them.
Okay, well that's good and novel. There's not many podcasts out there where people get guests on and have actual conversations with them. There was really a gap in the market for that, I think. Now, this
He's so right.
podcast is ran by Jake Paul's company, Better,
Okay, so that's why he was on there.
which, as you might be able to guess, is a betting site. And Jake, little piece of advice for you here. Keep funding this podcast. It is a very wise and shrewd decision. And this will no doubt return you millions.
Well, you never know, but the real question is, will she be an overnight celebrity? Or can she milk this and stay relevant? You know, like the... what's her name? What's her face? The Dr. Phil kid. The Cash Me Outside. How about that? I already forgot her name. But she became a rapper. She made an OF. She did all... She stayed relevant for a long time. And she made bank. So can Hailey Welch do the same?
Every week, people from all over the world will be waiting with gleeful anticipation for the next episode of Talk Tuah. Anyway, let's watch this episode because that's what this video is about.
Come on,
Yes.
Hailey, it's not that bad. All right, it's time to get out of the bed and quit rotting.
Acting.
Hailey, get up.
All right, I'm ready to talk.
Get in!
Wow. All right, I'm ready to talk. Podcast time. What? You don't need to do all that extra stuff. Nobody is going to give you an Emmy. Just
Talk Tuah, us, Hailey. Do you get it? It's the name of the podcast. It kind of sounds like Hawk Tuah, which is the phrase she said. Only intellectuals will understand this.
And I want you guys to get
a very deep joke.
to know me better than Hawk Tuah.
Ah, good thing you called your podcast Talk Tuah then, because people will surely forget about that. With
So you all know that I spit on things, but you need to know me better inside.
that sort of branding.
No, it's Tuah. Like, you really got to put your emphasis. Yeah.
She really got a Matt Rife pillow. Shout out. Problematic word tour.
You're not saying Tuah. You're saying Tuah. You know?
Tuah.
Like, you got to really put your back into it. Tuah.
How fucking sick of saying that phrase do you think she is? Hawk and Tuah have probably been half of the words she said in the past 3 months.
Say the line.
Hailey.
Hawk Tuah.
Nice editing.
Now, this may
Yeah, boy.
come as a shock to you, but this podcast is kind of uneventful. I know. Who would have guessed that, eh? In fairness to her presenting
I mean, shout outs to him if he actually listened through the whole thing to find out.
ability isn't bad at all for someone who got thrown into this like 3 months ago, and this is her first ever podcast episode that she's hosting. And she seems a nice enough person, but there's not a lot of substance to the first episode.
Surprise.
Like, at all. There is really no reason for this podcast to exist. It just feels like someone's gone, she's quite popular. Let's just give her a podcast because it might do well. We might be able to get people onto our betting site. But one of the most interesting things to happen on this podcast is she kind of alludes to Jake Paul being a bit of a dick.
Jake's
Really?
pretty wild.
He's a little spooky to talk
He's a little spooky.
to.
Really?
That's like a man, you know?
And what are you noticing in the difference between
Yeah, he's bulked up. He's a heavyweight now.
being a fan of someone from afar and then meeting them? Like, is it what you expected?
He was exactly what I expected. Like, he lets on like he's an asshole, and that's what I like about him. He owns up to that shit. He knows it.
That's kind of big in the first 4 minutes of your first podcast.
Crazy just calling your employer an a-hole. He is exactly what you think he is. By the way, he's paying money for me to speak right now.
Podcast your boss is funding to just he's a
that is crazy.
bit of a shit. I respect it. I respect that massively. They
But at least that's genuine. You gotta respect it.
then go on to talk about Botox for a bit, and
Sure. Okay.
it is astoundingly uninteresting.
I get a little myself. I call it Brotox when I do it. So when you
Brotox.
start young, you're actually just getting rid of whatever.
That is super weird. Brotox.
You look like a lizard and you can't move your eyebrows. This is just big cope in my opinion. Oh yeah, I get Botox. But it's just like, it prevents, my face from moving.
Here's the thing.
I'm pretty sure there's scientific research that shows there's no evidence whatsoever that if you get Brotox or Botox as a preemptive measure, you get it to prevent further deterioration of your face. It doesn't prevent anything. You can fix something that already, if you got loose skin or whatever, but it doesn't prevent you from aging.
Number one, if you're a girl and you get Botox, number one, you're going to attract pedophiles.
What the fuck?
Wow, that's...
What the fuck are you even on about?
That's the craziest, most lunatic take I have ever heard.
If anything...
You're going to attract PDF files, okay.
I found that
what?
Botox makes people actually look older. They just look more smooth.
He's actually right. Botox in some instances actually make you look older because you look like someone who's trying to be younger. And therefore we know, oh, she's probably kind of old.
Are we really that out of things to say already that we're at the point of going, yeah, anyone attracted to someone with Botox.
Yeah, that's...
a massive pedo.
Yeah, that's... Okay, so her friends, I see where she gets the influence. They are more crazy than she is.
What are you talking about? What does that even mean? I feel like maybe this is a joke. I don't know. But it's not delivered like a joke.
But like, so that's...
She was being very serious.
something that is such a breath of fresh air about you.
It is.
You know?
I agree. So I'm going to be real with y'all. I was never the biggest football fan. I honestly don't even get the rules that much. But what I do know is I like having fun and winning
Is this a sponsored segment by Better?
money. And Better Picks let you...
Okay, the businessman. I see where this is going. So he let her on the platform. The biggest episode, the first one, is just plastered in Better marketing. He gets all the ad space. Okay.
You win up to 1,000 times your money.
Okay. A Better lets you win up to 1,000 times your money. I think that's selling someone a fairy tale.
App is super easy and it makes it 1,000 times more fun.
10 minutes into the first ever episode.
That's crazy.
And we're already getting an uncharismatic ad brief for a betting
Uncharismatic, yep.
site. Hell yeah.
She's like a robot. Better lets you get your money back. It's so good. It's the best platform I have... Just a sec. It's the best platform I have ever used.
I wasn't familiar with your game, but the fact you're promoting such a service that allows people to make loads of money is very
1,000 times your money.
respectable. This will no doubt change lives for the better. We should be more thankful for betting sites and casinos, I think, because
That should be their slogan, Paul. Changing lives for the better.
they're really out here just giving free money to people. It's so kind of them. They're basically charities.
Just imagine if Chelsea said Hawk Tuah and not you that night. Would Chelsea be sitting in that chair?
Okay, now these are the big questions
I agreed, yeah.
I came to this podcast for. If her mate said Hawk Tuah instead of her, would she be the one sat in that chair?
Mm-hmm.
Would
she be the one with the script from Jake Paul?
she be the one with the 30 grand public appearances? Would she be the one with the Hawk Tuah merch? This is a philosophical question that people will be asking and studying for centuries to come. It's the modern if a tree falls and no one is there to hear it. Did it really fall? If Hailey Welch's friend said Hawk Tuah instead of her, would she be hosting?
This guy slaps. Who is he? Memulous. He's great. I love this guy. Like, really love this guy. YouTubers that actually sold their channels. Okay. I love this guy. How he faked everything. He even made a Mr. Beast video. We watched Ali G. Best comedian ever. Cool.
The Talk to Her podcast instead?
I can't do it as good as
Do
Hailey.
it.
You do it.
No, you do it.
Hawk Tuah.
There you go.
You gotta put...
I think they before they shot the episode, they agreed that no one can say it better than Hailey because you don't want to undermine her. If I hear the phrase Hawk Tuah one more time, I'll cry.
Hawk Tuah.
The fact that a podcast just revolves around the sound Hawk Tuah. Yeah. I still don't know how a 30-second clip resulted in this. Yeah, this one. The kiss clip was brutal. That was so strange. So strange.
Put like an emphasis on it, like tuh. You know, like really. Yeah. Say it. All right, all together.
Hawk Tuah.
Hawk tuh.
Hawk Tuah.
Say it aggressive, like
Hawk
really.
Tuah.
Oh my god.
Like, you're mad at the day. You're mad.
Okay. Guys, I can't do this anymore. This is just getting too strange. I'm not sure. Thank you for watching this video. Now they're mad at the genitals. Thank you for watching this video. Leave a like, penetrate the sub button, and I'll see you in the next one. These crazy cat ladies.